What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. And the end of the week, it is indeed. We are finally seeing some sunshine. We talked about at the beginning of the week that we were seeing rain every single day, but sunshine has hit New York City. How are we feeling? You feel it in your bones?
I needed the sunshine. It made me way more excited to get out of bed this morning when I saw the sun was out. So that was very happy.
Yep, the sun was glaring through my eyes, waking me up this morning.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
At 8 a.m. And I said, I don't even want to go back to sleep. The sun is out.
It was, yeah, and that is the nicest part. Mm-hmm. Because it gets you up and then you're up and moving instead of just wanting to lay in bed all
you
day,
want to do
all
is
morning.
snuggle.
Yeah.
Noah, how you feeling about the weather? You liking the
I would have
change?
loved for it to keep raining.
What?
I loved the rain. And then I was talking to someone else the other day. I was saying how much I love London. Then I was like,
I was gonna say you should live in London.
Then I was like, I like Seattle too. And then I'm like, oh wait, I just like wherever it's cloudy and rains all the time.
Oh man,
you're a depressing guy.
Sad.
No, I like the sun, but like right now, I could have gone like a few more. I'm done with the heat. I think these are our last 2 days, and then it's like done.
It did get
the
warmer.
Heat.
It's like in the 70s.
It was
like
65 degrees walking to work this morning.
It was a little
but
warmer.
Like today and
than
tomorrow,
the
it's like in the 70s, and then after it, it's like 60s, 50s for good. I think, which I'm excited about.
I will not complain about 72 degrees. That is not hot. 72 degrees is not hot.
I'm wearing a shirt
because we
today.
had this conversation
Yeah.
very recently.
I know, but he's I can't wait for it to not be hot. It's not hot.
No, but it's like I didn't wear a sweatshirt today.
It's warm.
Like I could have, but
I was actually enjoying the rain selfishly because I was like, ooh, like Florida will feel even better because of how much it's raining.
That's fair.
I'm so excited to go to Disney tomorrow. That's where my head is at.
I'm so jealous.
I'm jealous.
But very exciting
jealous.
news. Very, very exciting news. We are very happy to announce that we are back live in Boston. One night only.
Live.
In Boston, November 3rd. Tickets will be on sale on Monday, and we want to sell out the shit out of this thing.
Yep.
So make sure you guys are buying tickets. We want to see all your lovely faces. We will be having a meet and greet. We are going to be putting on the show of a lifetime. It's one night only, so we are going to make sure it is a spectacular show. A show, party.
What is that from?
What?
Dreamgirls?
I have no idea.
Shit, no. Maybe Dreamgirls.
House of
don't know.
Blues.
Sorry, keep it
House of Blues
yes.
in Boston, iconic. So we're really excited. So make sure you look out for tickets on Monday.
1 p.m.
They sold out within 50 seconds the last time we did Boston. So make sure if you're thinking about coming to the show, get your tickets as soon as possible because people were really upset last time. They were like, "Oh my God, it's
We
sold
added
out."
another show.
Yeah, people were so upset that we added another show.
Can't do this.
We can't
time
do
around.
it this time. Things
It's
are
one
booked.
night only.
It's one night only.
It is Dreamgirls. Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
Great song. Just that's what pops in my head. Anytime I hear a one night only, that's what
I can't
starts
think
playing.
of that song, but it's a good
One
movie.
night only.
Dreamgirls.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yes,
you were able to
figure
sing
that one out.
I'm very happy for you.
Yeah,
I'm excited to go back to Boston. I love Boston.
I'm excited to get back to Monica's, the restaurant.
Yeah.
I was just in Boston recently. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Yep.
What area?
Oh, we were down in the same area we were
Seaport.
in the
I'm excited as well. I think it's going to be a very, very fun show. Like we said, one night only, sold out really fast last time. So if you're thinking about coming, just buy your ticket. Don't be afraid to come alone. Every stop at the West Coast tour, we had girls show up and say, I'm alone. I did it. I followed what you said. And they had such a great time. Got DMs after being like, I'm so glad I did it. I made friends. Yeah. Then we met girls at the meet and greet that were like, I came alone, but then I met other girls that came alone. Everyone makes friends.
Thing is underrated.
It is underrated. And also it actually takes the pressure off everything. Like, you're going to go, if you're a fan, you're going to go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you're bringing someone along that you're not sure, you're not nervous about what they're going to think, you're going to have a good time and you're going to meet other people that are also going alone that are going to have an amazing time.
Yes. And for all those lovely, beautiful people that are in cities that we have not gone to, that we get a lot of messages to go to different cities. I know we're, repeating Boston, but we have only, really a couple months here till the end of the year. And we are trying to work on some new places for 2023.
Right. We didn't want to do any new places in this year because we want next year to be all new places.
We're doing new places
that we've never been to before, which we are definitely doing. So all the people are like, oh my God, why are you guys repeating Boston? no, we are coming to the new places. That is just going to be in 2023. It's in the works right now. We're trying to make that like a big shebang, whole ordeal. This is a one night only show, just like our guy Harry Styles does. You know what I mean? He does the one night only in LA. He does the one night only in New York.
It's been a few months. We just want to, shake the rust off a little bit, get in front of the people, back in front of the people who probably know us the best.
It's been a year since we've been on stage in the East Coast, and I'm dying to get back on stage.
Actually, a year today was the
our first show.
I'm dying to get back up on that stage and work on my 5 minutes of stand up.
House of Blues in San Diego is really cool. So
it was.
I bet people will come with some pretty good ideas for our balsamic vinaigrettes at these shows.
I saw a lot of great reactions to the balsamic.
Yeah.
I went to dinner with 2 of my best friends from high school last night, and they asked me about the balsamic. They said, this seems like something we want to be a part of. I said, well, let me hear your ideas.
Yeah.
And they
are we taking investors?
No.
Yeah,
well, investors, possibly you. They were all in on the balsamic idea. They had faith in me, which made me. But then we got into a big argument. Like honestly, for 20 minutes about what the consistency of the balsamic should be, and I'm not going to get into that. But we were me and one of my friends were disagreeing hard about consistencies of balsamics and dressing and glazes.
Well, there's a difference. But if we came out with a line, you can do a vinaigrette and a glaze. Like sometimes, like I want a glaze on a sandwich,
right? But
I don't want my salad to be like in a thick dressing.
The dressing that I love from that place that people have figured out in my DMs,
shocking,
is thick. And so my friend was like, I don't like that on my salads, and I was like, I do. And so honestly, we talked a long time about it. But it seems like everyone's on board, I saw a lot of tweets being like, I'm in on the balsamic. Anyways, besides the point, we won't talk about that again. I have an idea for our live show in Boston.
Okay.
That I thought of last night, actually, and I meant to text you guys, and then I just remembered it right now. So I'm going to say it before I forget.
How lucky is that?
Yeah, right? I think going forward at our live shows, people should come with signs with their best
signs.
Like they should come with signs with their best,
like on poster board.
Yeah, like best sign. You know what I mean? And we should give out a prize for somebody who has the best sign. Like they hold up signs that say something funny or creative. They make when you
want
I
know. You want to be Harry Styles, like looking at it.
Yeah, like look at the signs, because somebody, it actually came from a TikTok I did see about Harry Styles, that someone was holding up a sign saying you're my hall pass, and Harry stopped and smiled and like pointed because he saw the sign. I think it's a great way to interact with the crowd.
Lizzo just did something too where she called some guys, she called a girl's ex-boyfriend on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I think
it's a funny video. You should watch it. It's on. I also saw it. It was on Instagram. The Madison Square Garden Instagram or TikTok. One of them had posted, and she like takes this girl's phone, calls her ex-boyfriend, and the guy's like, she's like, "Can you FaceTime right now?" And he's like, "Is this Lizzo?" And then they FaceTime. He was very rattled.
Yeah, I don't know how one should react to that.
No, I don't know if there is a way to react to that. But it's definitely a good conversation starter. But I think we should be, we can get more into the details.
Right, later in
But I think we have to be specific on like sizes,
Yeah.
Like we don't need
you don't want to block people.
Yeah. And you don't want like
the whole time.
No. There'd be a time for people to hold them up, I think. But
and then we give out first place, second place, third place, depending on your sign.
Like you don't want people, like the projects you would make in grade school that were the poster boards
Science
that folded.
Board.
Yeah, those ones.
Trifolds.
Yeah. We don't need like, those are a lot.
No,
we need,
I don't think people would come
regular. If you said there's a prize for
right, prize at a reasonable rate.
Yeah, if you're throwing out prize around there, who knows what people are gonna do?
Right, but I think we should do prizes first, second, and third. People hold up their signs. It's sign time, and then we judge and we give out.
I think that's a great idea,
and
I really like
interactive.
That idea.
Thank you guys. Yeah. I meant to text it last night. And I'm happy I said it now, or else I would have forgotten.
I thought you were
gonna
say when you were teeing that up that you were gonna ask everyone to bring balsamic and
do
then,
a taste
test like on the stage.
Wow, but that isn't a bad idea. Not for people to bring
That'd be
balsamic,
that's I feel like that is a slippery slope
to
literally.
Taste balsamic in new cities.
That we can do on our own.
Yeah,
for sure. I like that idea. We don't have to, but but having like hundreds of people show up with bottles of balsamic is probably not the best idea.
One time, Marty and I went to lunch at this place. It was our maybe first or second time going to lunch at this place, and somebody recognized Marty, and all of a sudden the owner became interested in us.
Yeah.
It was classic. It was like, oh, now you want to pay attention to us? And he was like, he kept like asking Marty like what he does, blah, blah, blah. Very hard to explain when you're like, it's somebody who like, you just know that this guy, he was like hipster, like, I don't know how to explain. I just didn't feel like he was going to know. And he didn't. He did not know. But then he randomly was like, you know, I collect hot sauces. And so if you guys ever leave here, this state, and go somewhere else, can you guys pick me up a hot sauce and bring it back?
What?
And we never went back. It's a great place for lunch, and we have not returned.
It's a bizarre request.
Because we did not want to come
show up
empty-handed.
Well,
but one time when we were in Aruba, we saw a bottle of hot sauce, and we did think about bringing it back. We were like, it would be really nice of us to get this hot sauce from Aruba and bring it back to him. But such a weird request, it's making us not want to do it.
It's also, I'm not a collector, so I don't know what collector like policy is. But I feel like if I was collecting something, I would want I guess if somebody else gets it for you, there is a story behind it. But I'm saying like, I'd want to be like, oh, I went to this place and got this. I went to this place and that. Not like, oh, people just bring me hot sauce to my place of work. And then I say I collect it.
Right. And we thought hot sauce from Aruba would be good. Like, we
know that's it. No, that is
a different country. We brought you back hot sauce.
Be good.
But we couldn't do it. We said, no, it's we find it I'm glad he has that hobby. It's unique.
What made you think of this? People bringing balsamic
balsamic
to
us.
Oh.
It's like this guy has customers that come there for lunch. He says, I have people bring me hot sauce. Well, now everyone's just bringing you free hot sauce.
Well, you don't want to collect balsamic.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to collect balsamic. I don't want to become the balsamic lady unless I'm on that damn bottle.
I was about to say you're halfway there.
Now, picture this. Betty's balsamic, and it's my grandma dressed in a Betty Boop outfit in a sketch of a kitchen. Like a doodle of a kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fully colored in.
Yeah.
But it's like a doodle. My grandma's in a Betty Boop outfit. It's her face.
Yeah.
Betty's balsamic.
I like it. We could probably get sued by Betty Boop, but...
Just for the name Betty?
No, but if you use the outfit with the name...
It doesn't have to be identical, but...
I mean, I think you just use you could use your grandma's image anyway. Like, what doesn't have to be in a Betty Boop outfit.
Yeah, I think using my grandma's image, Betty's... Because the double B.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm so sorry that we're once again talking about balsamic. I have done a crazy amount of research too. And I'll text you guys. Nobody answers me when I bring up the balsamic.
That is not true.
I'm
do in on the balsamic.
Do.
I told you. Yeah, I told you.
I did text something the other day though that nobody answered.
About what?
About like the generic brands and having to knock certain people off the list and the research I was doing. Nobody answered, but that's okay. It's okay. Moving on.
Well, I'll be honest. The one that you sent.
Yeah, I don't want to name names and give them any more publicity.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The one you sent, I do like their dressing.
I like their Caesar dressing. Yeah. But we're not going to name their names.
So I wasn't going to be like,
no free dressing publicity, all right? If we're going to make it.
No.
No.
Not on this show.
I did ask Grocery Store Joe about his advice.
It's a great person to ask.
I wasn't completely sold on making our own balsamic.
Well, he was like, "Yeah,
well, it's not easy."
Well, also just like don't expect to make like $1 million.
Right.
Yeah,
he was like, but he was like, but you have bars, like, you would have different backing than I do.
Yeah.
Is basically how he phrased it.
Right.
And he does it for the love of the game.
Right. Which we would, for the love of the sauce.
We would too.
For the love of the dressing.
They were confused though. Serena goes, why you don't scream balsamic to me? I said, Maria Chefon, Francesca Mariano, don't scream balsamic. And then she worded it like this. And I said, you're damn right, Serena. She said, if she was going to buy makeup and we had makeup and Kim Kardashian had makeup, she's going to buy Kim Kardashian's makeup.
Yeah.
But if we had balsamic and Kim Kardashian had balsamic, she would buy our balsamic.
Fair.
And that's why we're doing what we're doing. Anyways, how's your week?
And we might not even like. It's a long road.
Well, this could take
Years.
It probably will if it's gonna be good.
Most things
Years.
do. Most things do.
We have to get. First of all, we gotta get somebody in this company on board to help us.
We're there.
Process.
MB's on board.
Yeah, but we need more than MB.
Listen, you don't just snap your fingers and make a beautiful product. Although it does feel that way with this show. It feels like we snapped our fingers and Chicks in the Office just became a success.
Would be a good
but
video series of you going to different places, testing it out,
and making balsamic.
The process of making it.
Yeah, the process of becoming.
Maybe you go to Italy.
Maybe London.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know if London has. I don't know if that's. I don't really know what's in balsamic, so
that was
grapes.
That was just a way for Rhea to say to go to London. No, it wasn't like it wasn't. That wasn't the point.
Well, we're just gonna stop in London.
Yeah,
for no reason.
Because it's on the way back.
Maybe we can make balsamic booming in London.
It's on the way back.
It's produced from the juice of white grapes, boiled down to sugar concentration.
You just reminded me. I didn't get any text yesterday about Happy Yom Kippur, Noah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I didn't see you.
Happy.
No, I said I didn't get any texts.
Yeah, but is that what you say?
Weird?
I feel like that's not what you say. You say like have a good fast. Which
I don't know what you
did
said.
You fast?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But I did go to a break fast.
Okay.
But I didn't fast.
Okay.
You know, it's weird actually. I did see somebody's Instagram story and I go, oh, that's Wednesday. I gotta say something to Noah.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday became Thursday, and I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's funny because
Did you fast?
I just asked him that.
I'm sorry.
He said no.
I didn't. And then
I was looking up
I went to this
grapes.
break fast, and I was like the only one who didn't. And I kind of felt like a fraud. But I've done it before.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I do it almost like every day, not even choosing to. I just don't eat during the day.
That's not good.
But like hardcore people, really, you're not supposed to even like drink water or brush your teeth, like all that type of stuff. But
other than that, how was the day? Did you reflect?
I didn't do anything other than go to the break fast and eat bagels.
Okay,
and
so
I didn't actually.
I'm
not the most religious guy, but I was just,
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you do anything else this week?
To do anything else? No.
Why are you so nervous right now? It sounds like you're hiding something that you did.
No, I was just like, it's funny. Did I do anything else?
I do anything? Excuse me. Did I do anything else this week? What are you hiding?
No, I'm not hiding anything. It was just
a dead body.
An odd question. I was like, did I do anything else this week?
I thought it was a normal question, Fran. I thought it was a nice question to ask him.
Yeah. All right.
What did you do this week?
I'm going to see Kygo tonight. Very excited.
You love a rave.
I love Kygo. MSG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that he would sell at MSG.
Oh yeah. Kygo.
I saw Kygo in Syracuse.
I saw Kygo at Barclays Center a few years back. It's awesome.
Who you going with?
A couple friends, Joe.
Nice.
I got the tickets, so I got to pick the people that I wanted to take.
Oh.
Well, it was actually supposed to be. It was supposed to be a double date situation. Like we were going with a couple.
Double date to Kygo. Fun.
A couple friend. But then they respectfully bowed out, and so I just offered it up to my friends.
Respectfully bowed out. They said no interested.
Yeah, like it was. I bought the tickets months ago, so it was like. But then it was. Creeped up, they were then when the date got closer, they were like, I actually kind of respect. We actually have something else for that week. I don't mind it at all in that scenario because tickets are high in demand, so I knew I was not going to have a problem getting two other people.
Would love to go.
Yes, it's like I knew I was going to find two other people to go easily. So when they were like, "Oh, like we're not," and I was like, "No worries, totally good. I can absolutely find two people who will come and be very excited, which they are."
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I want to find two people that I wanted to come instead, and so I'm really excited that you're bowing out. Just kidding.
Last week I went to a concert and I had a whole group. We were all gonna go, and I was like, the tickets aren't that expensive, and then we like didn't check them for a week, and then they got more expensive, and none of them wanted to go anymore. And I was like, come on, like, and no one. I hit up so many people, and no one was like a fan of the band, and I was like, I'm gonna go, like, I don't care. So I went. Speaking of going alone, I went to one of the concerts alone, and I became like friends with everyone like in my section. They bought me drinks. Like I didn't buy drinks the whole night.
That's nice.
You're a man of mystery, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, Noah's always posting Instagram stories from a concert
I'm going tonight.
of a band where I'm like, I don't know who that is,
tonight,
but good for you. Who are you going to see tonight?
It's the same band. It's the third time I'm seeing them in 1 week.
What?
Oh my God, that's out of the Mincy playbook.
No, it is.
3 times in 1 week.
Yeah,
you love them that much.
And they're going Friday and Saturday.
So
I might
when
go
I
to them too.
Did they hypnotize you?
They're so good.
So when I asked you, did you do anything else this week? You couldn't think of
Well,
anything, but you went to 3.
That's what he was hiding. That's why he got so nervous. I went to 3 concerts of the same band.
No, I went Friday and Saturday. That was in this week.
Okay.
And then I'm going tonight. And then maybe I'll go Friday, Saturday.
I mean, tonight
again.
would have been something to bring up.
Yeah, at the Beacon. They're just there like for the whole week. I've never seen them before these, but they're so good.
What's the band?
Tedeschi Trucks Band. It's just like kind of like a jam band type, but it's amazing. Like
sounds like something my boyfriend would like.
I'm happy for you.
I'm very excited. Like
that's fun. Good for you, Noah.
That's lovely, Noah.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, I went into like a absolute television trance of starting a show and just not coming out of it, where I sat down at like 5 p.m. and then all of a sudden it was midnight and I was like, I need to go to bed. But I just watched all 7 episodes of Fate the Winx Saga season 2. My dinner?
Yeah.
Ugh. I tried to be healthy. It was like a chicken broth and like a
don't bore us then.
cat kale Caesar with like vegan dressing.
Oh, while you were watching TV?
It was honestly,
television?
It was so unenjoyable. I can't even tell you. Like it was.
I know, like second dinner was ordered after you
I had
didn't
some
enjoy it.
Goldfish at like 10 o'clock because I was like, I need something,
Yeah.
and then I went to bed after that. But we really liked that first season, and it is definitely one of those shows that you're just like, I'm so locked in. It is technically not an award-winning show, but I'm so locked in and like need to know what's happening. And it got me from the beginning. It's a very fast pace. Like because they do only 7 episodes, something big is happening every episode. Like there isn't, at the end of every episode, it was like, oh my God, I gotta watch the next one. So I went through all of them so fast. And I am a sucker. I will watch any show that you tell me the 2 leads, the couple, like if they're a couple in the show that they're dating in real life. I will, yeah. Like if you tell me that couple is dating in real life, I will watch the show. I will love the show. I will look at them and think, oh, that's so nice that they fell in love doing the show. And Abigail, and she plays Bloom, and Sky, the actor who plays Sky, date in real life. They're so cute. I thought like on Instagram, they're absolutely adorable. He is a hunk. He is. He's got the accent.
I
the
gotta
whole
look
thing.
them up.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
Well, I know
Well, she's
Abigail.
beautiful, and like the 2 of them. I mean, they're an absolutely drop dead gorgeous couple. And when they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary, so nice. So
That's lovely.
And I'm like, now I'm locked in. I got to make sure I check out the whole second season and went through it pretty fast. I really hope it gets a 3rd. This is one of those shows where it's like the teen shows where even if the front runners don't know if it's going to get another season, they make the season like they are. So it ended on such a cliffhanger. It's like, oh my God, how could you possibly end this show at this point? So if they don't do a season 3, I'll be very disappointed, but I hope they do.
We've seen it.
I know.
The society
multiple
ended
times
on the biggest cliffhanger of all time.
Multiple times. I'll be honest, the you guys didn't watch the second season of The Wilds, but holy moly, did that end on a cliffhanger as well? And that's not coming back.
By the time I was gonna watch the second season of The Wilds, I heard that it was canceled, and so I was like, "Why am I gonna watch the second season and then be upset at the end?"
With that, like,
no, but I knew I'd be upset at the end of seeing the end.
If I like a show, I want to watch. Like, if I don't know why I didn't watch The Wilds, but that wouldn't be the reason why. Like,
yeah.
Like
you liked the first season.
I did. I don't know why. I think I tried to watch the first, and I was like, it was all about the guys. Now I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah. No, so it was a shift where I was like, they ended on such a cliffhanger. They better.
I'm sure they will.
And sometimes you just see an actress where you're like, huh, I forgot you were in this. Like when I was watching House of the Dragon, and I don't know any of their names, so I'm not going to be able to do this explanation well. But the cousin who was supposed to be queen, when it was like between Rhaenyra's dad, what's his name?
Oh my god, I don't know any of them.
Yeah,
No,
Rhaenyra,
I just watched.
Remember,
and
like in the first
same.
episode,
understand what's happening.
yeah, the
but
first
don't-
episode, it was Rhaenyra's dad, and then there was like a female family member. Like they were gonna be the queen or king of the Iron Throne. They went with Rhaenyra's dad, but then she was like a cousin or sister or something, and then she marries the Lord of whatever. They have the son that Rhaenyra marries. I just don't know their names. That actress was in the first season of Fate. And so when I was watching it, I'm like, this woman looks so familiar. Why do I know this? And then when I put season 2 on, I was like, that's why. Because she was in season 1. And there might be some people who understood what I just said, and there's probably going to be more that do not. But it made sense in my head.
there will be
and
some
I
people that go,
enjoyed-
yes, friend.
And I enjoyed the second season, and I ship Abigail and her
So it was
boyfriend.
worth your Wednesday night.
It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like those shows where they keep you on your toes. You just don't know where it's gonna turn.
Are you ever
I'm gonna
gonna
show
watch
you a
a show
picture.
that I tell you to watch?
Eventually, yes.
I don't-
Well, here's what happened. I was going to watch that show, and then it reminded me of what I heard.
Look how hot they are.
Oh yeah, that's a good couple and great outfits.
Yeah.
It reminded me of what I saw Hacks was about. So I was like, wait a second. Hacks is getting all these rave reviews. Let me check out Hacks. And I love Hacks. So then I watched Hacks, and I haven't gotten around to that show. I will say that all the shows that I had bragged about a couple weeks ago, being like, these shows are awesome, everyone needs to love them, have fallen down the drain. Each
Damn.
one of them has gotten, besides The Patient, I'm still hooked into, because The Patient is like quick episodes.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's perhaps the format that because it is a week-to-week show, they're in the lulls of their season, and then like when they end, it'll get better, and then you might look back and say, as a whole, the season was good, but those middle episodes stunk.
Well, I think if they released Tell Me Lies, I don't know the ending, so I don't know. But here's my theory. If they released Tell Me Lies all at once, I wouldn't think it is as bad as it is now. But my God, are these episodes pointless? Like I'm watching, they're an hour long.
Yeah.
And by the end of the episode, I go, huh? Why? Why was half of that in here?
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting any real answers? Like they always add something new, and then it's pointless in the next episode. So I'm like, why are they adding so many pointless things? Get to the fucking point of the show. It could have been a 6-episode series that they released all at once that we watch in one day, and we're like, boom, boom, boom. Wow, great 6-episode series. Done. We know the point. It's dragging on, and I'm getting so fucking frustrated because the characters are so hateable. Besides Bree and Evan,
Yeah.
they're lovely. The guy whose
The
birthday
couple
it
that's
was,
getting married.
the couple's getting married. They're
What?
They're getting married.
They showed that at the beginning of the
The
show.
first episode, when she goes, she
The first
sees him.
episode, it's about them. It's at their
In present day, they're getting
yeah,
married.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot that there was even a present day.
Yeah,
That's how
present
long
day,
it's
they're
been.
getting married, and I love them as a couple.
Yeah.
I think that they are the two nice, normal. Now, yes, you need the hateable characters if you're going to make a TV show.
Yeah.
I just am getting so frustrated that we're getting no answers and no reveals. Like the characters are walking around aimlessly, not knowing anything that the
Yeah.
other ones are doing.
Well, the problem
Why
is
aren't
they're,
they
like-
finding out? I'm like,
They're not gonna. It's not gonna be till the last episode.
I know it's not going to be till the last episode, so why not make it a 6-episode series where it's like, boom, this happens, boom, that happens. They're adding so much nonsense that you're like, we just watched an entire episode that was so pointless. I feel like I'm watching a reality show. Last night, I watched the episode, I said, I felt like I just watched a reality show where it was just a bunch of pointless drama that is not.
Yeah, it was like, wait, you have a sister? And
Yeah,
then, like, that was
yeah.
like the whole episode.
And then, and it was just like, just pointless drama.
Yeah, I will
that
say
is not needed in the show.
I will say I think that they.
But
had
I do think if I watched it consecutively in one day, I would have been like, oh, that show was great. And Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
My mom loves that show, by the way.
Bad Sisters.
Yeah.
I loved it until it's kind of reaching the same area of Tell Me Lies where I'm like, get to the point. Like there's so much
Wait, is
unnecessary.
that weekly too?
Yes, like
I think that's probably what it is then. The
That's
weekly
what I
thing.
said.
That's what
yeah,
Fran said.
that's what Fran said. But also just like certain plots that I just don't care about. And I guess maybe that's my own personal taste, but
Yeah, I think that they had a tougher time translating that book into a 10 episode show. Like the book is told in different perspectives, and the way it weaves through like how everyone's thinking works more in a book than it does on TV, because they had to kind of make it more of like a just her story, and then like I don't know, it's just I just don't know it. I probably agree with you, it probably needed like 6 or 7 episodes. I don't think it needed a full 10.
And it's a one book,
Yeah,
so it's gonna be a one and done.
yeah,
Unless they just
I mean they can decide that they want to make it, and they've done that before, like, you know, they take a book and it does well and they say, oh well, now we're just gonna write a second season even though there's not a book. I would be surprised. I mean, I guess they could, but I would be surprised if they extended it past this one season.
It feels like they could write a second season, though.
Definitely could.
Because with the present day, and then it's going to end on the present day, but we're not going to see the aftermath.
Yeah, 'cause that's not the story.
Really annoys. Like,
he's the worst.
But like he's almost, it's so how annoying he is. It's like almost fake. Like
right, like can
like
somebody
when he,
be
like,
this annoying?
Shattered the table. It's like what? No one's this annoying.
People
or
are.
dumb.
People
Or, like,
are that annoying and dumb. There are people like that
I've
that
never met
exist.
anyone like that.
I feel like I have, and I've been like, you're
Yeah.
so annoying and dumb.
Like when he just I mean.
Right, don't spoil it.
I
But
mean, it's not even spoilers. It's just
no,
like,
it's not
this guy's
spoilers.
annoying.
There's no plot to him. Well, there is, but whatever. I wish I can actually talk about the episode, but I'm not going to. What other show? Yeah, it was Bad Sisters Tell Me Lies and The Patient, which
I like The Last Patient.
that one's so quick that I have no problem with it. It's just it's such
Those
quick
episodes are so fast.
They
they're
go-
like 20-minute episodes.
That would be a cool one if they all put it out at once, because it would be like 2 hours long, like the whole thing.
It would
You'd
be like a
watch it
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would go too fast. Hulu, I will say though, like Hulu doesn't really do seasons all at once.
No,
Like they don't
Yeah.
for any of their shows.
but that's why Netflix is trying to copy Hulu now, because Hulu I think is succeeding with that.
Well, also like isn't the thing, because if you do it all at once, people can like watch it all and then cancel their subscription, and you don't have to like.
And I think there's something with the watch time.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched the whole season 2 of The Morning Show recently. It's pretty good.
I got to catch up on that. I didn't watch the second season of that.
Yeah, I don't like. There's definitely. I don't think Netflix needs to like start making episodes once a week for things. They do that for some.
Stranger Things, they kind of did that. It wasn't once a week. It was just like installments.
Yeah. Well,
Like that.
they only did it twice
No, the last season they just split it up.
into 2, but it was only 2 parts, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it wasn't like here's the whole. But those were also like movies, I guess. So.
Yeah, I think that's different. That was like a full part 1, and then part 2 was like only 2 episodes, but it was like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, that's a good. I don't know. Some of those shows, like God forbid, if Fate the Winx Saga season 2 was episode by week by week, I would have lost it. That's a show that needs to be binged.
Right, when
that's a one and done. Like I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna watch all of it, and then it's done.
Right, like how Outer Banks comes out all at once.
Yeah.
It's like we need that. If Outer Banks came out week to week, I think
my
I would
God.
lose my mind.
No, people would freak out.
We never talked about the season 3 trailer.
People would freak out. I'll be honest. I don't even know if I watched it.
I watched it.
Was it was it a full trailer? Or was it just? Oh wait, no, I watched it. I watched it. What am I talking about?
When's
I watched
it come
it.
out?
It's not gonna be till next year.
Really? I thought it was like December. Or maybe it is
I thought it
next
said 2023.
Oh,
and
maybe.
coming 20.
Probably.
I may have made that up, but I thought it said coming 2023.
It looked too action packed for me.
Too action packed.
Like, Outer Banks is action packed,
Yeah.
but I felt there was so much going on, I couldn't even follow what was happening.
I feel like they just tried to make a very chaotic looking trailer.
That's probably what it was.
You know?
I doubt the show is that
Like they
chaotic.
put it, they make those trailers look like so intense. The one for the second season was very intense.
Did you watch
as
the
well.
trailer for Knives Out 2 with Madeline Klein?
Yes, I
that
did.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Shout out to
excited about
Madeline
that.
Klein. Love her.
Yep. That's going to be a very good movie. Excited for that. Roback has the best hoodies. The Roback ladies hoodies are the softest, stretchiest hoodies in the game. These bad boys are so soft. You feel them. It's that buttery material. You could sleep in them. You could exercise in them. You could walk around in them. They are versatile. You can wear them at all times. It's a great transition sweatshirt to get ready for fall. They have so many amazing products for the men in your life. Maybe you want to get them nice polo. They have these performance polos that are they're so soft. They still have that same material, that they have fun print designs as well. And it is so well fitted. I have gotten these for all the men in my life. Everybody looks great in them. I love that, you can wash them a ton of times. They always look good. They have the collar always stays really nice. And all the rowback pieces are made with moisture wicking performance fabric, and they're tagless, so they never itch. These are a great gift. They have amazing products. They got these quarter zips tees. I wear the ladies performance tees all the time when I am walking around in New York, or just like under sweatshirts, perfect for exercising or just lounging. So you can use our code CHICKS on rowback.com for 20% off your first order of performance hoodies, polos, Q-zips, and tees. That's spelled RHOBACK.com, 20% off with the code CHICKS.
Okay, let's get into...
We don't even really have...
Yeah, we don't
Let's
really
just
have...
talk about one thing.
Yeah, let's just talk about one thing, and then we have Nick Viall.
Nicky V is here.
He's on the podcast talking about his new book. But let's talk about...
Once again, I'm here to tell you that we are talking about Kanye.
And we're not happy about it.
But
because it's a snooze fest at this point. I'm actually not even entertained. I'm bored with his nonsense.
It's just hard. Like, it's just when you're trying for, our process of looking through topics and stories and reading things and going through the websites and everything, it's every other thing is Kanye.
It's either Kanye or, because the Kardashian Hulu show comes out, then it's about that.
Headlines about that.
And then it's about Pete Davidson and how people want him to date Giselle. And it's the same thing over and over again. A lot of Tom and
Giselle headlines.
But Kanye is going wild on Instagram.
Again.
Now he's going... I saw a post that did not sit right with me. How he said corny ass Gigi Hadid and nose job Haley bald loose. Poor fucking Haley Bieber. I'm sorry. Like, yes, poor Gigi Hadid.
Yeah.
But being called corny versus being called nose job Haley bald loose, people are always coming at her for her looks and all these things. She's so beautiful. I just don't get it. And it's like, you have Kanye saying that to you. Yeah. Justin cannot be pleased. I would imagine Bieber is not happy.
Yeah. He wrote bald loose, like LOOSE. Do you think he meant to write bald lose?
I think that makes a
because
lot
of bald
more sense.
win, bald lose, but he wrote loose instead because he does have a lot in these captions of his as well.
Yes, bald
right?
loose.
Like that's probably what he was going for.
Definitely.
Bald because bald loose, I was like,
I don't understand that.
Loose.
I was more stuck on the nose job part. Nose job. Like he's just reading what people are saying on
it's just
online and running with it. Like he's like, oh, Haley Bieber got a nose job.
Listen to the Call Her Daddy episode.
Yeah, imagine really he was like, and by the way,
so superficial.
I listened to the Call Her Daddy episode, which I'm sure honestly he does. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Kanye went on Call Her Daddy one day. But that's besides the point. But
no, there was a lot that happened, even just from, I'll fill in the blank from the last time we talked about it. The last time when we talked about it on Wednesday, it was that Gigi was really the one who like made noise about it. Because she made that comment. And then the rest of the week it escalated. Chloe commented and was just like, you are the father of my nieces and nephews. Like, we're tired of this narrative, because Kanye once again was posting about not being at the birthday. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're tired of this narrative. Like, we all know the truth. There's text to prove it. Wrote this whole thing like, please stop dragging Kimberly. Like, I'd be happy to have this conversation with you privately, but like, I have to say something, which just, gets Kanye riled up. The Vogue magazine itself, put out a statement that they support their writer, Gabriella, and that their fashion editor, and that this was a very, they stand with her and her thoughts, and she can voice her opinions in which, however she would like to. And that has just seemed to have spiraled into Kanye continuing to talk about the point of his show and the amazing art that he creates and nobody gets it, and he gets everything because he's just such a genius, and now he won't stop posting. Probably by the time this comes out, it'll have posted
way
a billion more times.
Which 100% because it's Thursday, and then by the time it comes out, it's Friday. It'll be way more. But he posted this one. It's a picture of Kylie, and he wrote, "Okay, I'll admit I got Johan to sneak Anastasia, Victoria, and Carter into the Balenciaga show. And yes, the whole world knows I got a crush on Stas, but Victoria is dope too. I just feel dope people should not be held back by fear of losing anything. Just like I told Matt Williams, if you lose anything because of my post, I'm here. There's a choice to the Calabasas Mafia." So now he's openly saying he has a crush on Stassi Baby and their friend Victoria, which seems like a disaster. It seems like a disaster waiting to happen, especially if he did sneak them into the show.
Yeah.
And then Kylie didn't know that, or Kardashians didn't know that Kanye got Stassi into the show. We can't have her lose another best friend. No, we can't have that happen.
If I had to guess, Kanye just helped them get an invite. But in Kanye's mind, he's like, I snuck them in, but he probably just helped them get invited.
Right,
to
because
the show.
they did get like official bags and everything I saw on their social media, which
like if I had to guess,
not whatever it seems. But.
Totally. I mean, of course, if you're going to the Balenciaga show, you're posting from the show being like, thanks Balenciaga. You're not saying like, thanks Kanye for sneaking me into the Balenciaga show.
Right, but it seemed like they got gift bags and everything sent to them.
The logical thought there is that Kanye walked in that show, and that if they all know each other, they probably asked him hey, we want to go to the Balenciaga show. He said, okay, great. I will help you with that. And then they went. And now he's just in his Kanye way saying that he snuck them in.
I said, the world knows you got a crush on Stas. Nobody knew until you just told everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody knew you had a crush on Stassi Baby until this second. Now everybody knows you have a crush on Stassi Baby. What?
I don't know. It's just not one thing after the next, really.
Just so tiresome. I'm so done talking about it.
And sometimes it's just like, I know it's a bad joke. It's not even a joke. But I know like everybody comments being like, oh, yeah, you mean to put that on your close story. But it's like, it really does. It really does seem like he is posting for his inner circle. Because so much of it is names and people in the fashion industry that us normal regular folk don't know who these people are, So it's like you're reading these names, it's like I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know what he's really talking about at all, but here he's gonna keep talking about it.
Giving them publicity.
I'm shocked he hasn't brought up Pete Davidson in some way.
I'm sure by the time this comes out he will.
Yeah. Candace Owens did. Candace Owens brought up Pete
the tattoos. I was going to say, I bet Kanye starts talking about Pete.
But I wouldn't be surprised at some point.
These posts seem to be fashion based, but I bet that Pete Davidson's removal.
You never know. There's just always something, but it's like so many posts. Then he posts, and then he deletes, and then he posts more, and then he deletes more, and it's just so self-serving. Can't anymore.
Report him again.
I didn't, but I could, but I didn't. Feel like now, I mean, this is the thing, like he's putting his thoughts out there now.
He's just gonna keep doing this. I mean,
yeah, because there's no stopping him at this point. It feels like, and even if Instagram, like he can get his thoughts out any way he wants. Even if Instagram was like, oh, you're not doing this on Instagram anymore, I'm sure there would be a television show or something that he would do that he would be able to express himself if he needed to or wanted to, I guess.
I kind of missed when it was on Twitter.
Remember when he tweet anymore?
He was going. Remember, it would always be on Twitter.
Yeah,
those were easier to follow.
Yeah, Twitter's much easier. Like
now,
that's what Twitter's for.
Yeah, now he's always just there's pictures and captions. There's so much to follow.
It would have been. And then, like, what happened to just a couple weeks ago? He had Kris Jenner as his profile picture. He said it was a sign of peace. He was doing.
I feel like that was last week.
That was and I honestly don't know if that was a sign of peace.
Well, that's what he said it was.
I think he's all over the place. I think he hates Kris Jenner, and then he loves Kris Jenner, and he hates Khloe, but he loves Khloe. It's a disaster.
I thought Khloe stepping in was so nice, and it's hard because you really don't want to get involved, but it's just like it's hard to watch that happen to somebody close to you, and Does anything positive come out of commenting? Probably not, but
I do wonder if Justin Bieber is going to go public being like, stay away from my wife.
I don't think he will.
But you don't know because Justin's been vocal on Instagram before about things.
Yeah, I just feel like
remember when he was fighting with Cara Delevingne?
Yeah, I just feel like he hasn't in a really long time. Like,
right.
Just for, I feel like he has not gone that path in a very long time. And I don't even know why, but I feel like this is maybe a bad example to use, but I feel like from that Call Her Daddy interview of Alex asking like if Justin ever stepped in and she said no, it's like, well, if he's not going to step in there, why would he step in here?
Because another man is talking about the way your wife
Kanye's
looks.
like so all over the place. If it was like someone where it was like shocking that they said it, maybe. But it's like Kanye's going after everyone.
Right. It's like, oh, he's going after everybody. Let's just let him be.
Exactly.
Feels like Drake, and then maybe he'd be like,
right.
what?
Then yeah.
Kanye seems to be on great grounds with Drake right now. He said he'll be playing Drake's music because Drake liked one of his posts.
Imagine Drake did that by accident and was like, fuck.
That's also just, he's literally looking at who is liking his pictures and then taking screenshots and resharing who is liking his pictures.
And liking other people's posts about him.
Offset liked one.
Offset liked one against him.
Oh, and then did he show that?
That's what he was showing. Weird post for...
other fake friends.
Weird post for Drake to like. Because it was the one calling out Haley, and it was not the one about the nose job, but saying like, "Oh, Justin, Justin, am I canceled? Get your girl."
That one, it's like probably just like
like Drake laughed. And was like,
I also think it is objectively funny that you can picture him sitting on his phone, using the camera app and using the red highlighter pen feature to circle every single name on this when he could have just said all these names. He just circled every single individual person with the red highlighter feature.
And he has people being like, yo, look at who's liking this.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be on there liking... not those.
Yeah, I know. It's tiring. Stop posting this. It's hard because he posts so much and then it gets all the media coverage. It's all over. It's on every website.
Yeah,
Everybody's talking about it. I know we're talking about it, but we're talking about it because it's the only coverage that's happening.
Yep. It's going to keep going for a little bit. And then he'll go dark for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep. Probably.
Summer has officially phased out. We all know it. As much as we tried to hang on, we know that summer's done. It's October. Fall is here. And right now it's the perfect time for a change. And if you're looking for a change in your life, maybe you haven't tried Vizzy, check out Vizzy Hard Seltzer. Vizzy Hard Seltzer has flavors for every single vibe that you're looking for. Whether you're cozying up or you're hosting a tailgate, Vizzy is here for you. They have the variety packs. The first one has strawberry, kiwi, blueberry pomegranate, which is my favorite, black cherry lime, and pineapple mango. The second one is watermelon strawberry, raspberry tangerine, papaya passion fruit, and blackberry lemon. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, there's a flavor for every single vibe. So go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/chicks to find Vizzy near you. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/chicks to find Vizzy near you. And to hear about the latest flavor drops, sign up at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. You must be 21 and up. Remember, celebrate responsibly at the Molson Coors Beverage Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by Nick Viall. We're going to be talking about his new book, Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. It's out now. You can go buy it. We have the hard cover copy right in front of us. I love when we have people in and we talk about their books because then we get to do like the Jimmy Fallon thing where we hold it up. But thank you so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure being with you guys. You're some of my faves.
Thank you.
That's very nice. We appreciate that. And we're excited because, you haven't been in this studio. We have you here in New York. We get to talk in person. The last time we saw you, we were in Seattle.
Yep.
Which
you
is
put
just,
on a show.
We did that was a great show. I loved that show.
It was a great show.
I left very impressed.
You were a great guest, and you were there for a time that I bet people wish they were in the room for.
That was a real moment.
That is so funny. People are probably like, to be a fly on the wall, and Nick was literally the fly on the wall.
And how uncomfortable were you?
I was that.
I think
selfishly,
you were just confused.
It was great.
Yeah,
because I knew it wasn't a me problem, and
yeah, you're right.
I've dealt with uncomfortable situations before, but
Yeah, you
I'm
were
glad
the-
everything
Yes.
worked out.
Yeah.
You're definitely the winner.
Thank you very much.
We're on the other side of
Yes,
that.
we are. Very excited about your book. Obviously, I always, it started off as a joke, me talking about questions with Nick, because I'd always be like, Nicky V's questions with Nick. It's Sunday. And now I actually do read every Sunday. And I liked your marketing the past couple of weeks where somebody would ask a question and he would say, just turn to chapter and promote the book.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, really rewarding. It's the #1 best-selling dating book on Amazon right now, so that's kind of exciting.
Love
We'll
that.
see how long it stays there.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that people want, it's relationship advice, because I feel like everyone is always going through something of some sort, whether it's a situation, a relationship, single. Everyone wants to know what to do.
It really doesn't matter, like you said, where you are in the relationship. I mean, relationships are fucking hard. Dating's hard. Things constantly are changing. It's easy to feel like you're losing power in a relationship. You joked about your hair and like what that meant. And sometimes we get in our heads, even when we're single. And I kind of said, like, I wrote this book because I've often felt really stuck in relationships. I've often felt like other people's decisions were the biggest indicator of my happiness when it came to relationships, and I don't think we give ourselves enough credit when it comes to how much control we have over our happiness when it comes to relationships and dating. Doesn't mean we're always going to get what we want when we want it in the moment, but if we're willing to be a little bit more honest with ourselves, and I'm someone who used to lie to myself all the time about what I really wanted or what I thought looked good, or what I thought people would like, or things like that. And so that's kind of what it's all about. It's really just more of a mindset, really, than, it's definitely not like the top 5 things guys love or things like that. It's I'm really kind of proud of how inclusive it is. Like, I know that my audience is primarily women, and I wrote it from a perspective, I wrote it from my perspective, but the challenges I face, like, why would she say this and do that? What does this mean? Why am I confused? Why did I get cheated on? Why did I get ghosted? Why won't she be in a relationship with me? I've lived through all those things, unfortunately, but I'm on the other side of it, and that's basically everything I talk about on my show. It's all comes from those experiences, and I wrote it with the idea of I wanted it to feel like a one-on-one conversation, like I'm just kind of talking to a friend. And so far, for the people who've read it, it seems like that's how they're taking it. I've been really happy with how people have received it, so it's been fun.
Yeah, just looking at the chapters, it seems like there is something that covers every basis of anything,
all stages of relationships.
I kind of wrote it for like it takes the relationship from beginning to end to kind of like dating to first dates to the relationship to like
even just being single and not looking for somebody as well. What was the writing process for this, and what made you finally decide, I want to put all my advice and thoughts and opinions in a book? Because you do have your podcast where people call in and you are always giving advice on there. You do it on TikTok, you do it on your Instagram.
Yeah, it was kind of an accident. I didn't want to write a book. I didn't want to write a tell-all or a memoir. I'm like, I'm not a fucking senator. Like, what do I have to talk about? And I didn't want to like do the whole ghostwriter thing. But I did questions with Nick for a long time. And so I had like thousands of these like Q&As, you post it, it saves it. And I just was like, I went to my now editor and I basically pitched him like, hey, listen, I have all these Q&As. Like, what if I just give them to you and you like make it look pretty and put into like a coffee table book you can like sell at like Urban Outfitters or something like that. That was kind of my goal.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, low hanging fruit. I don't have to do anything, and give you a few bucks and like whatever. It'll be a fun like novelty thing. But they gave me a deal, and then they said, but we want you to write. And I was just like, I don't think you realize what you're asking. So it was pretty intimidating, but I did. And it was really just, all the advice I got was, don't try to write the best book ever. Don't even try to write a book. Just write, and we'll worry about the other stuff later. I had a lot of helpful people like help me organize it and structure in a way that kind of, took it from beginning to end in the relationship cycle. But once I powered through and got the rough, very, very rough first draft done, then it got fun because I could kind of see the vision. Because before, when you're starting, you're like, I don't know where to fucking start.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And so, there was definitely a moment when I was writing it, I was like, I'm gonna just give the money back because this is. I didn't want to. I really did not. I didn't want to do it for like once they asked me to write a book. I didn't want to do it just like, just collect a paycheck. I didn't want to embarrass myself, and so I was really nervous about how it would turn out, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I impressed myself because I didn't think I could do it, but yeah, it was fun that way, and it turned out. I'm glad I actually wrote a book. I never thought I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome accomplishment, and I like how the beginning you start off, you say like, well, why am I writing this book? Like, it's like, here I am, and why am I doing this? When you just to kind of start it off, which I feel like is probably one of the biggest. Is that like maybe the biggest criticism or you get when it's because like, oh, Nick's writing a book on relationships. Why?
I'm a straight white male from the fucking Bachelor who's notorious for being unlucky in love.
Yeah.
So like, I think you have to be like self-aware. And listen, I'm a big believer that I'd rather learn from people who have lived it and made mistakes. Like, people in healthy relationships can offer some great advice.
Yeah.
But when it comes to relationship advice, it's usually the struggles people have that people have the most questions about. But I think you have to convey that message. And again, I'm not a therapist or an expert of any kind. So I just want to lead with that and put that out there and just, again, come from a place of like, listen, these are my experiences. If you find it helpful, great. If not, go somewhere else. But like, this is why I understand what you're going through. I was in some really rough spots. I truly felt helpless. I've surely felt lost before. I can think back on some like moments in my life of saying some crazy shit to myself or crazy shit to my parents and like truly feeling desperate. And now I look back at those moments and laugh, and it's kind of I'm glad I have those moments, and it all came from like just changing how I view and think about relationships. And to answer your question, like I have the podcast, I have social media. What I like about this book is that I wanted it to be like kind of like a manual, like that if you're out there, you get it, you read it, I hope you enjoy it, but then it kind of sits there, you go on a date again, it doesn't go your way, you get stuck, you meet someone you really like, and you're just like, I don't want to date me. Like all this shit in this book, as I always say, it's like it's super easy in theory. It's not rocket science. It's not calculus. Like a lot of times people who are like in good places in their life, they're like, well, it's obvious.
Yeah.
But when you when you're emotionally fucked up over something, it's really hard to hold yourself accountable. And I want it to be something you can kind of reference back to and be like, oh yeah, I forgot. And I honestly like, I wrote it in the sense that something I could refer back to. Like these are the type of like things that come up that are just, it's so hard to like, do I really want this, or am I just trying to prove something to myself? Or is it just my ego? And all these little things that it's, like I said, easy in theory, hard in practice. And so I'm glad it like turned out to be kind of that thing you can always kind of page through. Various chapters might relate to you more than others, and something you can kind of easily pick up. And certainly it's a great gift for a friend and stuff like that. Right.
And it's kind of like sometimes the answer to something, but you don't want to accept it until somebody else says it. So I feel like there's a lot of times where somebody might be like, well, what does Nick say about this? And it's something they knew in the back of their head, but now that you're saying it, it clicks for them. I also love the name of the book because I think it's not just like Nick Viall's dating advice. It's catchy. Don't text your ex happy birthday. Who came up with that?
My editor did. Yeah. We were going through name titles. I always feel like I'm a better critic than an idea guy. Yeah. Like I know if something's good or bad, and as soon as she said it, I'm like, perfect. Yeah. And then her boss tried to change it. I'm like, no, fuck no. Like this is the title.
Right. No, I think it's catchy.
And yeah, because I don't like, it's not like, obviously I have a lot of advice and anecdotal stories, but like I didn't want to come from a place of like, like 5 steps, like technical and like, or just
more of like a how-to,
the guide to dating, like that's right.
Like it's just more like, here are some relatable stories and some like analogies that often are food related, that kind of make it easy to conceptualize. Because I think like when we're thinking about love and relationships, again, that emotional piece makes us want to go, well, we're different and this is why it's not the same. And then when you kind of reverse engineer it and break it down to something like more basic, you're like, oh, I'm doing that. And then it becomes a lot easier to not do the thing that's fucking you up so much.
Do you think you would have written this book currently if you were not in a good relationship?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have. I started writing this book before Natalie and I were
Okay.
Official.
Okay.
And yeah, so I get asked that question. I remember my publicist, who was in the other room, who's sitting next to my girlfriend right now, and she was just like,
Everybody's listening.
she was like, well, like, what would happen if you like guys broke up? Okay, kind of like
Right.
nervous.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, I would read my book, and that's kind of the point. And there's a early in the book, I say, success in relationship isn't having a relationship, it's being in a relationship with the right person. And I also believe that relationships end for a reason, right? And there's value in relationships that don't work out. And that's a big premise of the book is I know I did this. Like I put so much of my self-worth into having a relationship, especially in my mid to early 20s. Well, why not? My parents had all this great relationship, and it was like, love's important and you have to have it. And like, if I didn't have it, I was a loser. And we do that a lot. And so, like, again, this book is not, I have a relationship now.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I know what I'm talking
Right.
about. It's really, this book is a mindset. It's not like a how to find love because I found love. It's more about not lying to yourself, and regardless of what point you are in your life in relationships, and even your platonic relationships, how can you be honest with yourself about your choices so that you can get what you want in the long term? And when you don't get what you want in the short term, you don't get so down on yourself and beat yourself up and make a bad situation worse by hanging on to something that's kind of like eating you away inside, and letting go of things and just kind of, bringing more, positive things into your life that just make you feel a little less like weighted down. Just because, again, I remember just feeling stuck, just really kind of stuck, where I just couldn't get out of my own way or my own thoughts. And that's really what the book's about. It's definitely not a like written from a place of like righteousness or anything like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, say when or if you and Natalie get into an argument about something, how do you remove yourself from the place of Nick, who gives advice and seems to know the answers for other people, and take in what she's saying and not know everything?
Totally. Well,
That's a good question, Rhea.
it
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah. I guess I've made enough mistakes in other relationships to know that is something I'm capable of coming across as condescending or like a know-it-all. Natalie is, everyone knows she's younger than me, and when we decided to be in a relationship, and at least for me, my personal choice, my decision when I thought about it is like, if I'm going to date this person, she has to be my equal. Like, we're going to bring various strengths in the relationship. And so, I just don't want to be obnoxious to my girlfriend. I want her to enjoy my company. And I know one way to get someone to not to enjoy your company is to constantly sound like you're right all the time. And so if I'm frustrated about something, I will say, this is how I feel about this situation. Like and something that really worked. And, I guess maybe it's as a guy, I think I would encourage more men to talk this way, but I've said to her before, like, can I talk to you about something? I'm feeling a little insecure about this situation, and I'm not saying it's something you're doing, and maybe you're doing something, but I also realize I probably could be sensitive about this.
Yeah.
So could we just talk about that? And I just start from that place. And then we're just having a conversation, and I definitely am not bringing in, well, I read this, or well, I talked to this one
Natalie's
person.
like, I get it, you wrote a book.
So I got a question with Nick.
Yeah.
A question.
So I am
that was
definitely
just this scenario.
I'm definitely not coming from a place of offering advice at all to her, unless she specifically asked for it, and certainly not when it comes to our relationship. And so the most important thing is just to be aware that that I don't want to do that.
Right. And I think that's just like a good thing for people to hear, because I do think, like Fran said, it would be like, oh, how does he have all the answers? And I do think it's coming across clear that you're not saying you have all the answers. You're just giving your experience, and those experiences can help other people that have been through the same thing. And it's kind of like take it or leave it. Like, take this, and if it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, you could try something else.
Totally.
Yeah.
don't have all the answers, that's for sure. What I am really good at doing, and it started with myself, is I'm really good at not lying to myself. And when people call in, and my secret sauce is I just listen to their lies. And when I don't mean like lying about, like I had pizza when you really had steak for dinner.
Yeah.
I mean like when they're calling in and they're saying things like, well, I don't really like them. And I'm like, what do you mean by really like them? And I get them to like really listen to what they're saying, because again, it's just easy to lie to ourselves, you know? And so I'm good at hearing that and then re-delivering in a way that makes people go, okay, yeah. And so that's all I'm really doing.
Yeah.
And it's not about having the answers. It's just getting people to just see their situation more honestly so they can be honest with the people they're interacting with.
Because you've been in that spot before. How many people do you think are lying to their therapists?
So many. Again,
because
they're
when
lying
I went
to themselves.
when I went to
Probably
therapy,
everybody lies to their therapist in some way.
Yeah, when I this was about not last year but the year before, and I started going to therapy, and I would talk to my therapist, and I would tell her things, and I could just feel in the back of my head that I wasn't saying what I like really meant. And then I'd be like, I'm not getting anything out of therapy. Like, she's not helping me. And it was because I was not telling her really what I felt. Like I was trying to make it seem like certain things were okay and other things weren't. But really, the thing that I was saying was okay was not okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You weren't really lying to her. You were lying to yourself.
Yes, I was lying to myself.
And communicating what you wanted to believe was the truth. Like, I was living in Venice a couple years ago, and I was at this really popular coffee shop. David Beckham walked in, and I'm, as far as like guys that I think are cool, David Beckham's on the top of the list.
Yeah, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get starstruck very easily, but I was like, fuck, man, I gotta. It's
David Beckham.
It's David Beckham. So I'm like, hey, man, I'm a big fan. Do you mind if I take a picture? He was very gracious and very cool. And I said to him, my sisters are gonna love this.
Yeah.
And then I said, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, this is for me.
This is for me. Because I'll have people come up to me and have a picture and be like, my mom's gonna like this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's you. Yeah, we get that too when guys come up to us and say,
my girlfriend wants. My girlfriend will love this. I'm like, dude, this picture is for you.
Yeah, that was me telling myself, I'm embarrassed to admit this, so I'm gonna tell myself this little lie, and then I told it to someone else. And so these little things that we do. So it's
sometimes it just comes out of your mouth and it comes out of your mouth and then you go, why did I just say that?
And I do see you doing that with questions with Nick, where somebody will say something and you say, they say like, I really like this guy, but I feel this way, and you go, well, you don't really like him, and then that's the end of your answer, and I'm like, oh, well, straight to the point.
Yeah, how do we like people we don't know?
Yeah.
And just because they're 6 foot, or you like their face, or they say in their bio they like to travel and have a good and like to laugh, like that's not knowing someone. And having a couple dates isn't knowing someone.
Yeah.
When you start seeing their weaknesses and you start accepting those, that's when getting to know someone is like actually happening. And before that, it's just a couple people like trying to be on their best behavior.
Yeah, definitely. I want to ask about Bachelor a little bit, just because we're starting Paradise.
I like to think we're lots of pros in this.
I know. Yeah. We're getting into Paradise now, but I know you just had Jason on your show.
I did. Yeah, it's out. It's out right now.
How did that go? I know Tino was supposed to go on your show.
I talked to Tino yesterday. He has reconfirmed.
Oh, okay.
And tentatively, it should be dropping on the 20th of October.
Okay.
Jason, I told this to Jason. I think of all the people I've ever met on the show, Jason's someone I identify with the most, personality-wise. Joe a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, we're very similar people, but I see differences between Joe and I a little bit too. Jason's a stand-up guy. The biggest difference between Jason and I is that, like, we both came in skeptical, and at some point I was just like, fuck it, I'm in. And Jason just never said fuck it.
Yeah.
But he's a really stand-up guy. If you get a chance to meet him in person, you get why Gabby was so into him.
I mean, I liked him the whole way through. I really thought that they were a good pairing, and then it got to the end and I was like, you know what? I really don't think Jason should have gone on the show.
No, and he made it very clear.
Yeah, he was like, I probably shouldn't have been on the show.
Did he say why he went on the show, or who got him involved?
it wasn't so much his takeaway wasn't I shouldn't have gone on the show. His takeaway was I should have done some homework.
Right.
I should have like known what I actually was signing up for, because
I think he says a friend nominated him.
he tried to
just, like,
figure
did
it out like as he went, and just couldn't just get to that place. And so I think that was his biggest regret doing that. But because I kind of asked, obviously I always ask, like, what about Paradise? You think you could go? I got the impression that if he got another opportunity for Paradise, he's curious, I think, and I don't mean to be speaking for him, but my takeaway was, I think he's curious what that experience could be if he just approached it a little differently.
Yeah.
And again, you have to, yeah, exactly, suspend disbelief. I did this interview with Esquire the other day, and the writer Dave Holmes asked me, like, can you really fall in love? It really kind of made me think. And I've said before, the thing about what The Bachelor taught me is that feeling in love and being in love are two different things. And so if you ask me, love is different to everyone else, but to me, love is about like knowing where you stand with someone, having them know your weaknesses and vulnerabilities, feeling safe. And you can't do that on The Bachelor, but you can feel real feelings. Yeah. I mean, like when I said I loved you to the people I said I loved you, I meant it in the moment. It wasn't disingenuous. But you have to just go for it. And there can be benefits to that, taking some risk, and it can turn into real love. It certainly has. Joe and Serena, Ashley and Jared, those are real relationships. Yeah. And I feel like he's curious to see what he's capable of, with like having a little less of his guard up, and I would be curious to see how him in Paradise next season.
Yeah, that would be interesting, because I think maybe he would have a different outlook. He did the Bachelorette thing, and now he has an idea of kind of what the show is, because it seemed like he didn't really know at all. You mentioned Joe and Serena. I just have to say, and I've said it many times before, when you're around them, you can just feel how in love they are. Yeah. Like they were here the other day, and I'm like, they're so in love. It worked out for them.
I'm as big a fan of Serena as I am of Joe.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Joe.
Serena.
They're a great couple. They're such a fit. They've become a couple Natalie and I enjoy hanging out with. They're fantastic. Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on the Clayton and Susie situation? Because they announced that they split up, and then they went on Caitlin Bristow's podcast together and talked about it. And I was like, whoa, this is wild. I was like, they are openly,
which I don't think any couple has ever even
that was a
done
good
before.
get. I asked Susie, and sound like good for Caitlin rather.
Yeah.
She asked first, and they obviously, to the victor go the spoils. But
there's like a little bit of Bachelor podcast competition.
Of course there's competition.
Friendly competition.
I feel like I compete with you ladies, and you have a great show. I like competition. You have to give props to your competitors and your peers.
Absolutely. Everybody has a different opinion, and I think listeners, you can either go based on guests, or they can go on like, I really like, I relate to what Nick's opinion about this season is. I relate to what Caitlin's opinion is, or our opinion. There's so many, and nobody has the same opinion when it comes to this show.
Totally.
Like everybody has different thoughts.
And I like when they broke up, I was like, I'll give them a day or two, and then I'll ask. And then and Susie's like, whoa, Caitlin already asked. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, wow, they're doing like I said, like doing a podcast together.
I was very emotional. Susie like started to cry when it started. It was.
I was, I really liked them. I have, Susie. My interview with Susie, it was one of the most impressive ones. From the standpoint of, it's not easy to go through that show. It's not easy to go through AFR, and it's not easy to go through with what Clayton and Susie went through. I know what it's like to have a bad AFR. And Susie walked in, like literally right after, is a ray of sunshine, and just answered all my questions. And no one was harder on Clayton than I was, Yeah. And Clayton took accountability. Like I really like Clayton. I don't need people. I don't care. Like when I decide if I like someone, it's not about them making mistakes or fucking up or being perfect. I like sloppy people.
Yeah.
I care about people's character and their willingness to like, take accountability and figure things out. I think Clayton, from what I've learned, is a really solid guy who just made some mistakes and got is a little emotionally mature.
I think I agree, and I think it says a lot about the contestants' character when they know like they may have not looked the best on TV, but they will still answer to what they did on TV.
Totally.
It seems what my takeaway was that Clayton can't get out of his own head at this point in terms of public opinion, and that is weighing very, very heavily on him. And I wish the amount of times
you nailed it.
I think everybody
the amount of times
in the public eye goes through that.
Right, everyone goes through it. But I think right now it's talking about him and Susie's relationship. It seems like that was like a big deal breaker, is that they can't get over like the public perception, in which I feel bad for him, because we even told him here, we were like, you gotta stop reading the comments, you gotta stop caring about what people say. If you love somebody, you gotta love them, and that's it. You can't care what people say.
I told him the same thing. I mean, before I knew he was with Susie, he called me for some advice once, and I was like, the only way, if you're in a relationship, the only way it's gonna work is if you prioritize the relationship and nothing else. Listen, every Bachelor relationships, they're doomed. They're set up to fail. Like, they truly are. They're giving zero advantages of succeeding. Think about, you get done. First of all, you have to film, and that's just an emotional crisis for like the leads. Like, it's just an absolute horror show for the leads. And then you get done filming, and they're like, great, spend 4 days together, actually get to know each other, and now you're going to start this relationship with great expectations, because by the way, you're engaged. Yeah. And now you can't see each other. And then when you do see each other every couple of weeks, you're locked in a room together, a house. It's a nice house, but you can't leave. It's just not fucking normal. Meanwhile, then it starts airing. And then when it airs, it's just like, you talk about whatever you want, but it's just like, you told me you knew from the beginning, and you're telling so-and-so.
Right, then the fights start happening,
And it's just like, everyone's human. And it's just like, you don't know these people are strangers, and you're like, I'm going to just go ahead and trust someone who is telling me one thing and I am seeing another. And it's just like, it's really, really hard to do. And nowadays, when you have things like, Reddit and all these Bachelor fan accounts that, like, listen, I get people like them, but these fan accounts, they have a way of like, Bachelor alumni, Bachelor people come in and, they want to be liked. They're afraid of how it's going to go. And then they come out, and you got to keep in mind, when someone is about to go casted for the show, they probably start doing their research, and they hear about the chicks in the office, like this, the Viall Files or these other Bachelor, fan accounts or whatever, and they're just like, I just need these people to like me, because I know they're going to be talking about me. And so then they start reaching out, and these fan accounts give their opinion, and then they start like editing themselves. You mentioned, I think, with Katie's AFR about I've never seen something, like, and I empathize with the desire to want to do that. It's just so hard for you to stop yourself. So the people who go on are really given no advantages to that. And you're right. You can tell people all the time not to look at it, but it's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely. I do think that there may have been an element of that with what you were saying about like watching it back with Rachel and Tino. I feel like Tino knew he was the front runner the whole time, and like watching her say like things about other guys, I'm sure that went to, but hopefully you'll be able to talk to him about it. We have to wrap up because you are going to you're doing another show here. So we're getting the wrap it up.
Yes.
But we could talk about this for hours. You know that. But we want to one more time make sure everyone goes to get Nick's book, Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. You can get it wherever you buy your books, I imagine.
Get it on Amazon. I think that's
Amazon.
like the easiest way to get things right now.
If you're dyslexic like me, it's on Audible.
Did you do your Audible?
I did do it.
There we go. So you can listen to Nick.
It was a challenge because I can't read, but like, I truly think that, like, again, it's for really anyone. I promise you'll get a nugget in there that's worth $25. It'll free up
very nice
other areas in your life.
I love it.
Check it out. Don't Text Your Ex Happy Birthday. Love the title once again. Great book, hardcover as well. Love that. Make sure you buy it. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, ladies.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Make sure you are subscribing on YouTube. We love you guys, and look out for those tickets on Monday. You don't want to miss out. They're going to sell out quick. Hopefully. We love you guys. Talk to you Monday.